All right, Pisces, let's get into the reading. So it's interesting. As soon as I went to go start this reading, all my animals just literally passed the hell out. Like, one of my guinea pigs is literally half eating and she's asleep right at it. And I was thinking in my mind, after a moment of deep healing will come a season of rest and restoration. So some of you could be healing on a deeper level and you're going to notice that you're going to be exhausted, you're going to be tired, you're going to be depleted. You maybe even not, you might not look like your normal self, because I feel like I got hair sticking out everywhere. You might not even look, put together for a few hours, a few days. Okay. Having enough self-care and self-love to move on, move forward. I just heard sometimes you don't need an I'm sorry. Sometimes you just have to tell yourself that they're sorry and move the hell on. I think you're getting to know yourself on a deeper level spiritually. I think you're on this new path, Pisces, that's taking you to a new way of life, a new way of being. And I think it's not only healing you on a deeper level, but I think you're getting to know yourself on a deeper level, and it's bringing some sense of balance. And it's also allowing you to temper sides of your life that maybe you've had a hard time tempering. Let's say that you've struggled with addiction. Maybe now, more than ever, you've had an easier time conquering your addiction. Maybe you've had trouble getting outside, doing your exercise. Maybe now you don't even feel like you have to put it on your schedule. You're just naturally adapting to it. You're going to notice the more that you heal, the easier things are going to become for you. So you're definitely on a new path. I'm getting a lot of pages, so that means that there is some sort of new experience or new way of living or being that you are being involved in. Some of you, this is really random, but if you're wanting children, if you're having children, if you're going on the path of having children, some of you could be having twins here coming up. You could either be adopting twins, having surrogate twins, or you could be having twins yourself. If you are having twins, they're going to have different personalities. One of them is going to be a little more of like a fire baby. It's going to be the kind that keeps you on your toes, the kind where you're like, don't do that, and they do that plus more. And then you're going to have a different child, which is going to be the other half of the twin. That baby is going to be a little more like emotional, soft. They might cry easier. It's like they're going to be complete opposites, but they're going to be twins. For a lot of you, these are going to be humans, but for some of you, these could be animals, getting them from like the same pack, the same breeder, the same place, but it could be like brother, sister. If these are dogs, these could be dogs that are in different litters, because of course there is such thing as sibling syndrome. But still, I'm definitely getting like twins if it's humans. Some of you could be fostering twins, adopting twins, having twins, something like that. I am definitely seeing, though, as you're healing on a deeper level and getting to know yourself on a deeper level spiritually, it's bringing you to a new path that's going to balance and heal something out. Some of you, though, you could be addicted or set in what that looks like, and doing that could be teaching you a lesson. So for some of you, let's say it's having twins. You might in your mind say, I want twins, damn it. I don't want to have one baby, then another baby. I want to get it all over with. I want to have them twins and we want to be done. You might then put yourself in a position where you are maybe buying or paying for a surrogate, or maybe you're having to do IVF because you're not able to have twins naturally. That might then put you in a position where it's kind of like, be careful what you wish for, you just might get it, but it could become very toxic for you, and you could end up learning lessons in that. There could be a foundation that's going to crumble. This could be something as simple as, I got my twins, but yeah, we're in financial debt, okay? This could just be an energy of you are going to be so addicted to what some sense of forward movement looks like. You could put yourself in a position or a place where you might not be ready for what's coming. Here's the thing. You don't always know what's the right choice. That is life. It's a learning, exploring, knowing what's wrong, knowing what's right, making the wrong choice, making the right choice. That is life. I don't care how old you are, you're still going to make bad choices. You're going to make bad investments. You're going to give bad advice. That just, again, is life. But I am saying here that, again, let's say that it's having twin babies, or getting 2 dogs, not 1 dog, or starting, this could be owning a business let's say that you own a brick and mortar, and your first brick and mortar is successful. But then you might then go, okay, we should open not one more store, but 2. And I want them in 2 different counties. And you got this want list. The want list is as long as the CVS receipt, okay? But you could be so set in getting that plan done. No, I don't want 1 store open. I said I want 2 stores open. That you could put yourself in a predicament where maybe in the future you can't pay your bills. Heaven forbid, we don't want that to happen, but you might learn a very valuable lesson in, maybe I shouldn't open 2 stores at once. Maybe I should open 1 store, see if it's gonna be successful, and then if it is, awesome, perfect, great, and if it isn't, awesome, perfect, great, now I know what to do. It's like you're gonna have a vision, and I don't think the vision is gonna fail, but I think that the vision is going to progress in a way that might not be what you thought, what you would want. And it can make you reevaluate where you're going, what you're doing, what balance looks like for you. And it could even be having you learning a lesson that's going to shift a mindset, a way that you've been working. Again, you could be the kind of person where it's like, no, I'm not buying the home, living in it, and renovating it. I'm buying the home and we're renovating it before we move in. You might notice though, 2 months down the road, financially, you got money coming out your ears. Honey, you ain't made of money. Money does grow on trees, but unless you got a money tree outside that you hiding, you can't go outside and just pick it off of a tree. And that could be a lesson for you, is that, yeah, it felt great to say, no, I'm gonna buy this home. We're gonna renovate it before we move in. The plan was perfect. If everything went the way you planned it, it'd be perfect. But nothing goes the way you plan it. And I think some of you are going to get so addicted in some sort of plan. No, but it has to work out. This has to be the new path. This has to be the key to the success, that you might then go down. You might then hold on to something you shouldn't. Try to make something successful when you shouldn't. Balance is taking place. So if this is like a brick and mortar, it's gonna be successful, but maybe the first few months, it's small success. Maybe the first few months is big on you promoting it, letting people know that you're open, letting people know what you have, sending discounts. Again, in your mind, you could have been like, but I wanna open the doors and I want 15 people outside ready for these doors to be open. Well, honey, you ain't Chick-fil-A, you ain't Texas Roadhouse. People might not know what you're offering yet. And that's okay, but I think they're just saying, listen, make sure you have realistic expectations on your journey. Make sure that you're not expecting 6 kids in your first pregnancy, when in reality, most people don't have that many babies in one lifetime. Make sure that you're tempering what you think success looks like and what you think movement forward looks like. Because again, I am seeing something here starting off. It's going to be small, it's going to be fun, it's going to be great, it's going to be grand. And it's bringing some sense of balance into your life. But it could also be showing you that something needs to temper your expectations, maybe how fast you're thinking things should move. Again, for some of you, if this is IVF, you might get your feelings hurt that the first time it doesn't work, the second time it doesn't work. It might take 3, 4, 5 times before it works. And if you've ever been on an IVF journey, you know that it is extremely, extremely expensive. It takes a toll on not just you, but on your partner, on your relationship, on your body, on your emotions, on your spirit. And each time something fails, it tests your dedication. It tests your loyalty to what you say you want. And that's what I'm getting here. It's like you're going to have to get a fine line between what are you... No, I'm getting it, Danielle. There is no from the universe. Where's going to be your compromise? The universe doesn't want you to say no. The universe doesn't want you to give up. The universe wants you to have 2 businesses in those 2 cities. However, do we really need to do it the same day? Probably not. That's what I'm getting here. And they're saying that whatever you get kind of stuck in, but no, it has to work. This has got to work. This is going to be successful. Recognize that there's a lesson you're learning in that. And it could be showing you what you desire. A lot of you are desiring a new beginning, but again, it could be very burdensome. See, that's what I'm saying. Some of you could end up dating someone who comes with children, or who comes with animals, or who could come with 2 family members specifically. And you might have to show up in a way in this relationship that you're not used to. You could have to show up from a place of love. It could really put to test how much you've healed, how much you know yourself, where you're at on your spiritual journey. I am saying again, though, that it's going to be something new that you're learning how to do. Now, if these are children, it's like you're learning how to be a step parent. You're learning how to be a partner and someone who is a good role model, but maybe not a parent right off the bat. If you're dating someone new, again, if this is a career, you could be starting off new in your career or starting off new in something, and in your mind you've got like a year plan. Okay, this is going to have to take off in a year. I hate to tell you, it's going to take off, but it might not be in the time frame you want. You might not get promoted in the time frame that you've set on yourself. Things might move a little bit slower than you want, and what it's teaching you is to temper sides of you that feels that this must happen the way that you need it to happen. Why do you have to have 3 children at once for you to be satisfied? Why do we have to get rid of all the money in the bank for you to finally recognize, okay, wait, maybe I'm learning a lesson here. Maybe this isn't what I'm supposed to do. Maybe I wasn't supposed to have 4 houses that were flipping at once when we can only work on 1 house at a time. Maybe I don't need 7 of these motorcycles outside. You're right, honey, I can only work on 1. Maybe I should just keep my favorite. But there could be this dream aspect. Some of you're getting to a place where as you heal, you're recognizing what's a dream and what's fantasy. What's a dream? What's fantasy? What's a dream? What's fantasy? What do I mean by that? I personally would say that fantasy cannot be fulfilled. Fantasy is just that. Think of unicorns, think of dragons. We think of things that are not in true existence. A dream is something that you want, you crave, you can achieve as long as you're dedicated, you're determined, and you go after it. I know a lot of people who have dreams that have worked for those dreams for 10, 15, 20 years and didn't achieve them until the 20-year mark. Dreams have no time limit. A dream can be achieved as long as you continue to go at it until you're taken out of this world. A fantasy can never be achieved because it's simply that. It's a fantasy, it's not reality. That's what I'm getting here. I think you're starting to recognize what's a dream and what's a fantasy. And you're starting to go after the dreams, but not the fantasies. And a lot of you, it's like instead of being fueled by fantasies, you're going to be fueled by your dream, but then you could put too much emphasis on your dream. Okay, but I want to be married with 2 children. You could be feeling like, oh, well, I'm 29, my time's running out. Your time isn't running out. And if you put that in your mind, you're going to then pick partners where they might not be long-term material. You might then overlook red flags or get so addicted to the end goal that you're not recognizing the choices you're making to get you to that end goal. Everybody wants that loving partner, that true love, that amazing relationship, but not everyone can achieve it. All of us can be addicted to what we think that looks like, but not all of us are capable of giving ourselves to make that happen. That's what I'm getting here with the devil. It's like you've got to recognize at what point are you going to sacrifice yourself to get what you say you want, and at what point are you going to recognize that you're going to get what you want, but sometimes it might not be right when you want it. It might be more when you need it. Again, let's say that this is like a home. Some of you could be wanting to buy a home, or you could be in the beginning processes of buying something, and it could fall through. You might not have the finances for it. You might learn something and recognize, but I was really set on getting that. This could be, again, something that breaks. Your TV breaks, you want a new one. You might not be able to afford a new one, but you want a new one. You're going to recognize that as you heal, you're going to be able to see the difference between your wants and your needs. However, there's still going to be a part of you that could get kind of obsessive over movement forward and really blur that line between a want and a need, because you're still on that learning path. You're on that learning journey. This could be trying to be a gentle parent and you feel like you fell at it more than you're good at it. This could be getting to know someone new and trying to figure out what place you are in their life, and you feel like, oh, I don't get it as much as I do get it. I feel like I fail more than I thrive. But you could be being hard on yourself. You could be expecting perfection, or you could be expecting a certain version of you that you're not capable of being, or you're expecting something to fly before it's even off the ground. I mean, at one point, we didn't have airplanes. It isn't like we went from no airplanes to 700 in the sky. That's what I'm getting here. You're not going from nothing to everything. So if you're giving yourself a time limit, if you're giving yourself limitations, that's what you're going to get. And I feel like the deeper you heal, the more that this is going to become easier for you to deal with. But I think there's also going to be new challenges. And some of the new challenges you're dealing with is how to temper the sides of you when you're on a new journey, being able to recognize what part of you is in overdrive, what part of you is addicted to maybe something that's not good for you, what part of you is demanding something that you want when you're not seeing everything clearly, what part of you is wanting something to work out when it shouldn't work out. Again, this reminds me of like the people who want to buy a home and they're like, but that is my dream home. I love that home. 3 years later, that home is in a flood because it was a flood zone. If this person would have bought it, their home would be gone right now because they were in a flood zone. It's kind of bittersweet. It's bitter because I wanted to live there and I really liked it, but now it's kind of sweet because I didn't lose my stuff, and if I would have got my way, I'd be in a whole heap of a mess right now. That could be something else that's happening here. Some of you could be in the beginning stages of wanting something, exploring something, doing something new, and if it got too carried away, it would become a monster that you wouldn't be able to handle. Some of you, this could be a business. Let's say that you've never owned a business and your business becomes successful overnight. That could be a blessing, that could be a curse. It could be a blessing because you're getting all the attention that you wanted, you feel that you deserve, but it could be a curse because there could be parts of that business that you don't even know you need to deal with because you've never dealt with business before. Example, I was watching something the other day. This girl had started a business. She didn't know that she had taxes, not just federal taxes, but state taxes she needed to pay. After doing that for about 2 to 3 years, her business got shut down. And when I tell you she was in almost millions of dollars of debt just because of a bad financial business choice and lack of education, I'm not kidding. Sometimes in life, we can think that we know what we want and that what we want is best for us, but we can't always see everything. We don't always know everything. And what's in the dark is going to come to light. That's what I'm getting here, okay? So again, if this is business, it's a little bit of like, you could be sad because things are not progressing the way that you want it to. Your business isn't where you want it to be. It isn't as successful as you want it to be. But they're saying recognize that if it got too carried away, it could be the reason your career crumbles or your business crumbles, because there could be something coming out here in the near future that could shake up your foundation, but then you're going to be happy because it's going to be like, oh, I'm glad I found this out now. I'm glad that I found out that taxes are more than I thought they were. I'm glad that I found out that this landlord has the tendency to get you in and make you only pay $800 for this brick and mortar, but then they double it by the third month, so then you can't really afford to stay here. And then it's going to help you make a final decision. Give me a little bit more on this deeper healing. I'm saying that there could be someone in your environment that you're going to need to speak up against, someone that you could find that is toxic, someone that you have a lot of emotion and love towards or emotional love for, but you might not see them through the best eyes. I'm saying that this person is going to come in very quickly and want to have a conversation with you. I see that they can either ask for money or they're going to tell you that they miss you. And the reason they're doing this is because they want some sense of recognition from you, okay? So be careful of someone that once emotionally fulfilled you, that you had to move on from. Be careful of them coming into your environment and wanting to see how you've been and let you know that they miss you. Because I am saying that this person could again want to be recognized for battles that they've overcome. So this person could just want to come in and maybe get their ego stroked by you. This isn't an ex that wants to get back together. This isn't an ex that wants to come in and say, you're the love of my life. This would be the ex that just wants to come in and be like, hey, how are you? You're good. I'm good too. Like that kind of thing. And then when you walk away from the conversation, you're like, what the was the point of us talking? I'm saying though, that you might be unsure if you want to explore this person or even talk to them because you see them as someone who either is a player or they come in and out. So in your mind, yeah, it was only a matter of time for you to come back in, but it's also only a matter of time for you to go your ass right back out. That's how you view them. So, give me a little bit more on you healing on a deeper level. I see that you're going to get to some sense of peace in your life within the next 6 weeks to 6 months. So again, remember that you're healing on a deeper level. Also remember that you're in a moment of ebb and flow. It's going to feel like it's going great, and then you're going to feel like you're getting pushed back. You're going to feel like you got it figured out, and then you're going to feel like what you want to achieve or conquer is not achievable. It is achievable. Just get out of your head and recognize that you're in the beginning of a path. You also need to recognize, though, that if you keep taking consistent action in the way that you are, it's going to get you to emotional fulfillment, and this is allowing you to see what's bringing in peace and what isn't. Not everyone's going to understand the choices that you make, but as long as it brings you some sense of peace and not chaos, and as long as it helps you move on and move forward, I would say that that's all that matters. Now, I am seeing here coming up, if you're having financial problems or if you're feeling like your finances aren't spreading as far as you want them to, that will be changing again within the next 6 weeks to 6 months. Your finances are going to take a shift. And I'm seeing you being really emotionally fulfilled. So some of you, the devil could be your finances. You could be feeling like you can't get any money paid off, any bills paid off. It's like you cannot win. And you could feel like, well, Danielle, I've been saving. I've been trying to pay off my bills. I think I've paid a bill off. I go to check it. I still owe as much as I did before. I don't get it. Why can I not have any movement forward? You're going to look in like 6 weeks to 6 months, and you're going to be shocked how much progress you made. You're also going to be shocked how much you've saved, how your finances have adjusted, how things have changed. But maybe, just maybe, you were reevaluating them in the middle of the readjustment. Here's an example. Let's say that you readjust your bills, or you look at your money and you go, okay, I'm spending too much, let me readjust it. Well, if you readjust it, you can't go looking in 2 days and then be like, why don't I have any more money in the bank? It's going to take a few months for that stuff to kind of tilter, for the things that you no longer want to pay for. You don't pay for them anymore. Take that money, save it. You're going to notice a lot more success if you look back in 6 months for you to go, oh wait, I did have movement. It just didn't seem that way when I was in the thick of it. That's what I'm getting here. And then you're going to be able to recognize that, again, you were able to temper sides of you that needed to be tempered. You were on a new journey. You were maybe in the middle of learning how to be a parent, learning how to be a partner plus a parent, learning how to do this career, do this business, do this job. And yeah, there's been hard lessons here. It's even made you reevaluate what you thought was going to work and what isn't. But it's also setting you up for success. So I'm going to leave that here, and I will see you guys soon. Have a blessed day.